So I get this job for a chimney stack trim siding replacement. Not necessarily the job you want to take care of. I showed up without my tape measure, so I had to put my thumb on there to show how the thickness would reflect once I got to Home Depot. After that, I put my fingers across so that I could take a picture and see what the breadth was across the panel. Not only did this help with the thickness, but it also helped me to color match at the same time. Most of these houses, they generally have the same color scheme, so this was a horseradish. Once I got to Home Depot, I was able to take another picture of the horseradish that looked similar to this one, and then I was able to look on the phone and color match them from the phone resolution. That's a really good tip if you don't have the physical paint sample with you. So let's get started. So the name's Skorpius Optimus if you haven't been here before. If you're a return viewer, thanks for coming to my channel. I'm arriving at Home Depot to get supplies. Unfortunately, no one was there to help. That made trying to get all of the material that I needed a very big challenge. I did learn, however, that the yellow ladders in Home Depot are for customers. The orange ones are for the staff. And that made it a little bit easier for me to get all this stuff down. I took a picture of the color match so I wouldn't forget what I would be using for future projects in this house. After getting all the supplies, I returned, doing a video for the before status. The bottom wasn't so bad, but the top is what really got them the HOA violation. It was rotted out, and they used wood trim on the hardy plank siding. And to be specific, the horizontal siding, that is the hardy plank that's pre-existing. The vertical and going upwards, that siding there is the trim that I'm going to be replacing. As you can see, it is wood. Due to the environment, wood tends to rot a whole lot faster when used as siding on a house. For that reason, I'm going to be replacing it with hardy plank siding panels. For the trim, like any job, you want to set up first and make sure everything's in place. Got my horses ready so that I can paint before I put these up there. This is day one. It took me 2 days to finish this project. My hardy plank is going to need to dry and set before I try to start trifling around with it up there at 25 feet. Mind you, I only started about 4 o'clock in the evening on the first day, and it took me a few hours to get all this stuff together, including my trip to Home Depot. The plan was to get these all finished up and painted so that they'd be dry in the morning. When I got there early, I would be able to set up and just go forward from there and start the installation. I had some pretty easygoing clients, so they let me lay these out in the yard until the next morning, but when I got started, I could just throw these straight up. Here's a bird's eye view of the rot that the wood was taken from all the years of the rain and weather deterioration. The conditions of the roof were not very good. The pitch was bad, and every time I took a step on the shingle, I started sliding because it was so old that all of the grit from the texture started to slide down and break loose, and I was sliding with it. My client was kind enough to offer me a handheld blower so I could blow that grit down so I wouldn't have to slip and slide all the way through this project. This project was tricky because I had to take one panel off at a time and replace it before I could move to the next one since they were overlapped, and I needed to be square, and I didn't have the grips and things that I needed to hold it in place while I was doing the installation. Incredibly life-threatening and awkward. I do not recommend. But as you can see here, I did a fantastic job from the befores to the afters. It looks brand new. I'm actually quite surprised that it turned out so well, even though I was by myself and didn't have any assistance. I couldn't take much video footage because this project was way beyond what I was physically capable of doing with a camera in my hand. But as you can see, the project went very well. The befores weren't so good, but the afters, they make the house look brand new. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. Remember, I'm Skorpius Optimus. I'll see you in the next video. And like always, I promise, I'll keep it interesting and very informative. Skorpius Optimus, checking out.